So the DR Congo, that last clip or the last game was the one they beat Guinea 3-1. I remember predicting or telling my guests at the time that that game would be exciting. Everybody said it would be settled 1-0 or it would be settled via the penalty shootout. But the Congolese had other ideas. Pofu, thoughts on the Congolese? They've won only one game in regulation time, but they are here in the last 4. The beauty of tournament football.
I think they are impressive. They are not getting goals, but with the dominance of play, interpositioning, changing passes, I think that side has been quite key for them in the way they play. And they have experience within their ranks. Look at Johan Wissa. He is quite a commanding figure in the team. Look at the last game and some of the situations that came in. He had to step in as a leader in the team. And they have Chancellor Mbamba, who is another player. Mm-hmm. So in every facet, in the midfield, they have experience in there. In attack, they have experience in there. It appears they have some form of understanding between them. I think some of the penalties they've conceded hasn't exactly helped them. I think they are a bit ragged, too combative in certain areas, which they are not.
Congolese have always been physical.
Yes.
Very, very physical side.
I think Atam Masuaku has been impressive up and down a bit, but, well, let's see how they bring it today.
Yavin, your thoughts?
Oh no, Masuaku been very interesting, but he's yet to register an assist.
Has a goal.
But he has a goal.
He has a goal.
As a left back.
What we're expecting is for his crosses to find the head of his forwards, or just a bit more going forward. But I mean, it's because of how they're playing. The Congolese have shown that, look, you can get to the promised land with a little effort, and they put in the effort when it mattered most. To take Egypt out, it's not an easy feat. To do what they did to Guinea as well, not so easy. And like Yao Ampofu said, it's about their defense. They have experience over there, but the challenge is they make rash decisions in there. Some of the decisions, yes, you could say maybe they are not penalties or whatnot, but that susceptibility to conceding penalties or fouls in and around their area is something that needs to be addressed. Against the team that, or host nation, the crowd will be on their side. Every call, they'll be hoping that it's theirs. So,
and that's pressure on the referee.
So you have to be very careful with your tackles, because early on in the game, they get one, there's a penalty, you're a goal down. And chasing a goal in a semi-final, unless you are Ghana or you are Egypt, it will be very difficult. So you want to go in there and just make sure you put your best foot forward. I'm hoping to see Silas start from the beginning.
Yes.
And then maybe Bakambu will finally find the net properly.
But Bakambu's looked really off color. He's looked really off color for a player with a great reputation as a scorer. He's looked very uncomfortable in this competition.
I think the chance creation has been very low from the team. The crosses are not coming at Masuaku, but they've held on to the ball a bit longer than you expect the attackers to. Bakabu himself hasn't helped himself when he gets the opportunities. These are the key opportunities he's got that you feel for a player of a pedigree to finish.
Penalty against Morocco.
I don't know, but I think they have to sort it a bit. Maybe put him on the bench, let him come from the maybe that will work for him today. But as it stands, he's not been the guy that we all expect of him.
All right, Yavimba, let's get to the touchpad. You want to highlight strengths, weaknesses, tendencies we should look out for, because the stakes are higher than before. You are 90 potential 120 minutes away from a final, and possibly 90 or 120 minutes away from playing the losers final, as some people call it, the third and fourth place game.
Well, a final is a final, so you take it. For Congo, the main two things to consider are their defensive shape and how they're giving away certain fouls. So we'll start with the penalties they've conceded. I know when you're defending, you always want to get to the ball first and what's not. That excessive use of force in a competition like this, where the referees have been commended so far, they would want to do what's right. They can choose to overlook it, but VAR over here has been very, very clear on the rules. They stick to what is the rule. So we look at the first penalty incident, which was against Egypt. And that one there, clearly you could see an elbow was in there. We'll get to that bit in a second. But just here, you can't go into tackles or challenges with your hands. If you want to do that, maybe you should play basketball or rugby. But right there, once the hand goes in there, and we're talking about the North Africans, they are very, very intelligent in terms of playing by the rules and the laws of the game to get certain things in their favor. You could tell is the forearm, it's not really the elbow, but he's clutching his face. Referee will definitely pay attention to it, and rightfully he calls the penalty. And well, it cost you a goal, and the opponents are way back in the game. You don't want to be seeing that. In this game, I personally think this was a soft call from the referee.
Okay.
Because per the laws of the game, I'm quite sure shoulder to shoulder is accepted. So I don't see what the issue is for Mbemba over here, because he's just he's shadowing his marker, his man, and he's making sure that, okay, you can't get to the ball. I'll make sure the ball eases straight to my keeper. So he's done the right thing by just walking with you, and just about when the ball's coming in, he nudges you.
Okay.
But I think it's in the shoulder. But again, excessive use of force, it could be seen as a foul or what's not.
Okay.
So probably why the foul was actually given. The second incident is how they defend corners. So looking at how well they played throughout the tournament, one thing that has been disappointing is for a team with such strong, physically blessed players, they are quite poor in defensive setups, especially at corners. So just here, from this corner, as the corner is coming in, I've watched this video enough times to ask, what are they doing? Are they doing zonal marking, or they are picking up men to mark? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The entire Congolese team is in their penalty box.
How are you conceding from this?
This is 11 on 5.
Or 6. That's
11 on 6, yes. But so that's a 5-man advantage, if you like.
And let's just say each man has a man. Probably in their preparation, they know Saiz is good in the air,
Yes.
Hakimi is good in the air, El Nasiri is good in the air. So they wanted to prepare for them adequately. But in doing this, they've overcrowded their area and somehow still prevented the opponent from scoring. Because my key person to look at over here is Kakuta. You are defending a corner, you're looking at where the corner is coming from, but you're not paying attention to the player that you're marking. And that's Hakimi. Hakimi just goes past him. And with the number of players they have in the box, if they were quite clear on what they were doing in terms of everyone has a zone or everyone has a man, it might help them, because you play against an Ivory Coast side that they would try and make certain runs. Haller is in there, Fofana is in there. They've got Frankesi is in there. They've got enough players to make certain runs that will put you in trouble. So you want to be very clear on how you want to defend. And we see from this that, look, even as the ball comes in, you even have another situation where it's 1, 2, 3, 4 against 2 players, and they still somehow miss the ball. And it falls straight to him. And all he has to do is just guide the ball into the net. Ideally, man on the line should be saving that. But again, if you are not quite clear on how you want to defend, you will give away opportunities like that. And a team like the Côte d'Ivoire are a very, very strong team when they put the ball into the box, because they've got big men that will attack it. So, and the quality of the ball also makes it difficult for you to deal with. But if this is anything to go by, DRC have to be very, very cautious when they're defending the corners.
Interesting stuff there. Jan Pafo, I don't know whether you have something to say.
I think sometimes I don't understand why we have shifted away from the old way of defending corners, where you have 2 players on the right and left. I know offside is one of the reasons, but I think that provided better shield, better protection than what we are seeing today. That man on the line, he had to move across to clear the ball. If he was on the line, it would have been easy to clear it out.
Okay. All right. Yafupong?
Yeah, I thought this was another game, but we'll move to the
Yes, let's talk about the Ivorians.
the Ivorians. Definitely a gifted side when they have their day. And when they have that purpose about them, especially when they go a goal down, you see a different side to them. Urgency is in there. But when the game is tied, or when they are not having the opportunity to play a bit of the football, they tend to concede certain chances that I think are worth looking at for the opponents. Early on in the draw, I think, no, this is the wrong game. It's here. Against Mali. The goal that was scored by Mali is a clear sign of people aren't paying attention. And if you have your middlemen, closing men as they should, you definitely be in a better position. When this game started off, we saw different players playing in the back five for Ivory Coast, but I think the key change that probably changed things for Ivory Coast was the introduction of Singo. When he came in there was just a presence and someone that could drive with the ball, because Indika, he's got good passing range, but in terms of progressing the ball, sometimes he could be pushed off the ball. And Boli, I wouldn't trust him with the ball at his feet. But Singo was able to help them move from a back five into back four, because he'll move into right back and move balls into the area. But with this goal, you had 5 men at the back. Then you have the luxury of Frankesi, Seri, and Fofana in here. This shot that came in from Nene should not be coming in, because once that man is beaten, you know that a shot is coming in. And Seri, ideally, should be moving straight to the man. Because that's your defenders have have this man, and then, well, right back shouldn't be getting engaged. He should still be focusing on this man. But Seri is the only person that can stop this attack.
Okay.
And all he had to do was step up to the man and leave the rest for Fofana, because he's got the number 11. But Seri chose to, one more second, and because he's got the technical ability, where he puts it, there's nothing you can do. Again, seems the other chance is missing. But there was another opportunity for Senegal. We'll look at Senegal. One other aspect of Ivory Coast throughout the tournament is they've started very, very slowly, except the first game where they were up for it. From then, it's just gone downhill, where they've conceded in the first half of every game. Right at the beginning of this game, we saw one of the problems that Ivory Coast have shown throughout the tournament. They don't close their men. That cross from Mane shouldn't be coming in. Aurier should be ensuring that he's first to Mane, just prevent the ball from coming in, because as much as you have the numerical advantage, you have the problem of your opponent being in the area. If your opponent is in the area, all he has to do is take a touch. You can't tackle him. Tackling him wrongly is a foul. And they allow him time on the ball. To have this many men in the box and the opponent still scores is quite concerning. He takes a touch, and all he has to do is pick a spot. And once that ball went in, again, because they concede so early, their plan just, it turns around. You look at Equatorial Guinea, how they conceded. Once they conceded, again, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
It seems that mentally, when they concede, until Faye has another chat with them at halftime, they tend to be all over the place. And that's something that needs to be curbed if they're facing a team that would go at them like DRC would. So we look at the Equatorial Guinea goals, which shows a lot of the problems that I think have been solved to an extent. I don't know how you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want to draw the midfielders in there, but you've got enough players back. This ball should not be coming in because ideally, you know that that defender has that player. Ideally, he should be drawing himself closer to this player. And then he has the opportunity to attack that ball. So the ball doesn't come in. But as soon as they allow him to run on the ball a bit more, all he has to do is pass it across goal. And Nsue showing that, I don't know where he's got the ability to finish from, but that's a delicate touch that just puts them behind. And again, you look at the fact that it's before halftime. Once they concede, they just seem to be all over the place. And then this goal, there's not much that could be done here because I remember they made all the changes possible to try and get as many attacking players on to try and salvage something. But when there's a 2v1, these two players, they've done their parts. They've run with the players, but they are supposed to drive them away from goal. So you want to be in a situation where he can't pass. You're trying to push him further away from goal, as well as Frankesi now covering this player. So he can't pass. So all he has to do is go across goal and try and shoot. Go across goal and your players regroup and you prevent the shot. But they made it very easy, and Nsue showing that just a brilliant finish, straight. Keeper couldn't do anything about that. Again, same thing here. If you are isolated against the player, you want to try your best to move the player away from your box. But again, because they're chasing the game, the mentality is, okay, let's find a way to just try and get a goal. And once they move the ball wide, well, Fofana in the last game, he made certain saves, which I agree with, where he pushed it away from goal.
But in this case?
Here, he lets himself down. It should be going here. Or you're saving it for starters, but then he pushes it back. He
decides to do a Richard Ofori.
Everything is Richard Ofori in Ghana. Pushes it back into the path, and all he had to do was, again, he even scuffed the shots, but still managed to get it.